All right, guys, welcome to the Orange Crush podcast here at TigerNet.com. I'm Grayson Mann alongside David Hood. Our transfer series begins, starts, ends, all the good things. We're super excited to continue to roll this on with Jake Heidbreder. Transfer from Air Force. If you guys hadn't heard, when he was a part of the 2022-2023, that offseason, that transfer class, he'll be making his debut this year with the Tigers. Jake, how are you doing, man? Welcome to the podcast.
I'm good. Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Absolutely, man. And Jake, the one thing that I think is so fascinating about this transfer class, we mentioned the number 5 because it's sort of like how with the NBA with rookies, if they didn't play due to an injury, they're technically considered this is their rookie year. And for you, this is you're sort of part of this transfer class for Clemson. And I just love to get into the decision process for you. And it might go going back way back when from 2 summers ago, but going from one of the top scorers in the Mountain West at Air Force to now joining the ranks here at Clemson, sort of what played into that process and how did that get the ball rolling with Brad Brownell in this program?
Yeah, so I mean, just whenever I went into the portal, I was looking at just a few things. I was open to redshirting because I was injured at the time, and I had 2 stress fractures in both sides of my hips, just from overuse at Air Force. Just played a lot, and just it's a tough place, very respectable place too. So, just like overuse there, and I was looking at a place where I had the option to redshirt. I didn't know how fast I really would be able to heal and how easily I would be able to heal if it came back or not. So I was open to that at all times. And just meeting with Coach Brunell. I had a previous relationship with Coach Bender and Coach Brunell from high school. My high school head coach is pretty close friends with both of them. So I already had a little bit of relationship with them. So that kind of helped in the process as well. And yeah, I think just the culture here and the opportunity to redshirt and just be a part of a good team, that's pretty much the decision.
Hey, did anybody tell you that the weather's better in Colorado Springs than it is in Clemson, South Carolina?
I don't think one person could ever tell me that. So
Now, talking about Air Force, you said, very respectable place. I love to go visit there. What, kind of went into your decision to attend the academy? Because when you go there, you realize that you're giving more than just a 4-year commitment. Uh, what was kind of in your mind when you signed up there?
yeah, so my recruiting was a little weird just because of COVID. I was kind of in that period where you couldn't really visit anywhere. Scholarships were weird because people were getting an extra year and coming back. So I think just for me, it was down to there in another school, and I think just the opportunity to be in the Air Force, have a great job coming out, and obviously basketball worked out better than maybe I expected there, so that kind of helped me get here. But just getting into the military, like Air Force, getting a great degree there as well, and being a part of something bigger than most people are a part of. I think that just kind of went into the factor of going to Air Force. So.
You talk about playing in such a respected conference, respected school, but you're one of the first sophomores, I believe, not if not the first sophomore to earn all conference honors for Air Force, and you took such a jump in scoring from your freshman to sophomore year. Just in between those 2 years in that off season, what do you feel like clicked for you? Can you just sort of walk us through that process of how that made you the player you are today?
Yeah, so I think just going into my freshman year there, obviously you have to go through boot camp, so it's limited basketball going into freshman year there, and you can only really work out a certain amount of times. And I think just maybe me struggling getting a taste of the military and getting used to that life might have like maybe made me struggle a little bit. I didn't really struggle, but just maybe getting used to that going into my sophomore year and the coaching staff there helping me and getting more workouts in and having a little bit of a better summer just to focus on basketball there, I think probably just helped in general. So
So how is your health? How do you feel? Is everything healed up? You feel good?
yeah, I'm great. I feel great right now. I'm heavier right now than I was Air Force, probably about 10 pounds heavier. Good muscle and been working out a lot. So yeah, I feel great.
When you look at this season, this prior season, with sort of how you had to redshirt Jake and how that sort of whole process played out. Just what did you learn from having to sort of observe the entire year and sort of take what Clemson did this year in from a more visual perspective than what you had probably envisioned initially? Just Is it motivating now to be like, hey, they were close and I can be that extra piece for them? Or just kind of what was that process like for you, sort of from a more visual side of it?
Yeah, I think just being a part of a team that goes to Elite Eight on a crazy run like that is just something that you dream of. I mean, obviously I wasn't out there playing, but just being a part of the team, being around the guys and feeling that atmosphere and how it feels, I think it makes you hungrier and you just want to like repeat that again. But yeah, I think just also being with the team, learning the offense, the defense, being around a great group of guys, and just kind of getting the feel of everything here in Clemson, I think that just helps as well as getting my feet set. So.
In the category of you never know who's watching, I watched you last year. The locker rooms following some of those NCAA tournament games, and you feel a part of the team, but yet you're kind of not. You're the guy over there in the warm-up suit, and I would watch you kind of watch everybody, and you'd grab your phone and you'd sit back in a chair and stick your legs out, and you just observed how much fun will it be to climb out of that chair and get that warm-up suit off.
Yeah, I'm a very competitive guy. I don't like to sit on the bench much. So I think just because I was playing like 40 minutes at Air Force, it was definitely different not playing for a year here. Yeah, I can't wait to be back on the court. I'm excited and I just can't wait to go. So
I'd love to go back to that initial sales pitch with Brownell and sort of that relationship because you had that foundation prior to transferring to Clemson. But obviously, we just talked to Jaden about what the sales pitch was for him and how they sort of were able to tag an Elite Eight with it. That Clemson team, before you came, had just missed the NCAA tournament. It was sort of a weird period that summer. They had been adding some guys. But what did Brownell sit down and tell you as to what his vision was for you specifically as your career sort of played out here?
yeah, I think again the main thing was the opportunity to redshirt, get stronger, get better, get healthy. That was pretty much one of the main things for me that I liked about the sales pitch, I guess. But just like going through how I can fit the system, showing me guys before how I could play similar, maybe where I could play the 1, 2, 3, wherever, just where I can fit in. And I think just the culture here and the commitment and everything to the guys, I think it's something that was very similar to Air Force. Just the motto there is like service before self. So I think that's probably pretty similar here. Just everyone's close and you play for each other. So.
You just touched on something I was going to ask. When you look at Dylan Hunter, Chase Hunter, you, Jaden Zachary, I mean, that's a pretty good group of guards. And if he decides to go to a, smaller lineup or a faster lineup, I mean, that's some guys that can play. How exciting is that? Knowing, this might be one of the best guard groups, or maybe the best guard group in the ACC.
Yeah, I think we have a lot of talent for sure. Yeah, we have a lot of guards that can go up and down, get in people, make shots, dribble the ball, pass. And I think the best thing is everyone's unselfish. So I think, yeah, if we just keep sticking together and playing for each other, yeah, it could be pretty good. So.
And something that really fascinated me this year out throughout like the basketball world was how much the Mountain West was held in a certain regard. And that was the conference that you called home. Sort of, how do you feel like when you look at how you're excited to get into ACC basketball, but how do you feel like playing in the Mountain West and sort of a conference that's sort of taken the front center stage as of late? How do you feel like your game translates to ACC basketball? And what do you look forward to playing against teams like Duke, North Carolina, and teams of that higher pedigree?
Yeah, I think Mountain West obviously has good metrics. I don't really know what all goes into the metrics. I don't look at that stuff, but they figured out something in the Mountain West to where they can keep getting teams in. So yeah, I don't know how they figured it out, but yeah, it is a good league, and there's a lot of good teams. San Diego State's always good. Utah State's usually pretty good. So yeah, they got a lot of good teams there. But ACC is the most historically like best conference in basketball. I think that's a given. So yeah, just playing against teams like Duke, North Carolina. I'm excited to go to play at Louisville just because it's close to home. So yeah, I'm just excited to play in all the big spots too in the ACC.
When you get back out there on the court, everybody gets to watch you. What are we going to be seeing in Jake Heidbreder? What's the strength of your game? What do you bring to the table?
Yeah, I think a lot of people just like to say I'm a shooter. I do like to shoot threes, definitely for sure. I think that is a strong suit, but I think I can do a little bit of everything. I can dribble, pass, shoot. play defense. Whoever you need me to guard, I think I'm 6'5" and I can move well, so I can guard a little bit, like a couple of positions. So yeah, I just think smart player who can do a little bit of everything.
One thing that I
He's-
would want to quickly touch on was you mentioned the 6'5" stature that you hold, and something that I'm like, really looking forward to talking to some of the other recruits in the front court is the size of this team. It feels like a bigger team than we've seen in years past. And when you look at the Final Four recently, you have two teams in Purdue and UConn where the 7 feet giants end up being the best players on the court, and it's more of an inside game. Do you feel like this team is sort of molded to fit that narrative and that trend that's sort of taking college basketball right now?
I mean, I think we definitely probably have more size than last year, maybe I'd say, especially with the big guys. It's still too early to probably see how it all is going to work out, but yeah, I think our big guys are like Christian's huge, Victor's pretty tall too, so I mean, we just got to see how it all pans out. But yeah, we definitely have some size for sure.
I'm glad you brought up Victor. I've already talked to him. I've heard some stories. What's he like being around him every day?
Yeah, it's funny. Just his accent's funny. Boz last year was just pretty much Americanized, it seemed like. So, like coming in, you expect him to probably have an accent, but Boz was pretty much American. I could say that. But Victor's different. You know, you can tell he's from Russia. But yeah, he's a great guy. I mean, always positive, fun to be around. So yeah, it's awesome.
That's great. David, do we want to move to a quick couple rapid fire questions if we have any?
I think I have a few. Who's the best shooter on this team?
I'm going myself. I think I just got to stick with that confidence right there. So I'm going myself.
Who's your funniest teammate?
Ooh, funniest. I'd probably say Chef, and then a newcomer. I'd say Dallas. Dallas is pretty funny.
And Jake, in the time that you've been at Clemson, what would you say is the go-to stop? If you had to get something to eat right now, where would you go?
Um, I think my favorite place is probably Charleston Sports Pub. I like their chicken bacon Alfredo. It's pretty good.
There we go.
Very good. All right, everybody. Well, Jake takes the court this year. It's been a long time coming. I'm sure you're excited. Everybody at Clemson's excited to see you. I think it's going to be a good year, and we appreciate your time today.
Sir, thank you for having me.
Hey, thanks, Jake.